Okay. Uh, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. We are from Group Two. So we are going to present our audit findings, right? Let me introduce our team members. So we have done the before I go through the team members and the task which we have performed, right? So let me introduce what exactly we have done on this audit, right? So we have done a security audit, and it's based on the case study of Singhealth data breach, which has happened in 2018. So this is one of the biggest data breach which has happened for the health sector in Singapore, the government-owned health sector. So we are a team of 4 members. So myself, Mohammed Shahnad Bashir. I'm taking part as a role of CISO, the Chief Security Officer, right? So we have Parveena George, so she will be the auditor in this case, and we have Ahmed Zaid also as a part of auditing, and Nasrul Hakim will be the IT head for this institute, who will be dealing with the next action plan and what are the action that need to be taken as a part of this audit, right? Let me go to the next slide. Okay, so just a brief, right? As I mentioned, so the organization which we are going to do the audit is Singhealth. So it's a healthcare industry. I mean, it belongs to a healthcare sector. So the incident happened between 27th June and 4th July. So this is the time period which the incident has been happened, and there was total of 8 days the breach was there. So all the 8 days, the attackers were targeted this particular institute, and they have collected much more data from this organization. So just a brief introduction of the incident. So Singhealth, the incident is happened on Singhealth, which is one of the public healthcare group in Singapore, and which has been suffered with most serious data breach in its history. Right, it's 2018. So the mode of attack which is carried out is advanced persistent threat, which is in short we can say APT. The attackers access the personal information of almost 1.5 million patients, and all the records, medical records of 160,000 individuals has been collected by the attackers. So notable thing is that this breach was appeared specifically targeting the data of the Prime Minister of Singapore. So investigation revealed that the primary cause for the breach is inadequate staff training on cyber security and slow patching of the critical system, which exposed the vulnerability and the weak security policies. So this is the main root cause for the incident. Okay, so let me quickly give you brief of this audit details. So who conducted this audit? So we are 4 members, which is assigned by the COI, that is the Committee of Inquiry, right? So what is the scope of this audit? The investigation is aimed to identify the cause of a cyber attack and recommended preventive measures involving both public and closed door hearing with staff and expert testimonials. So what are the tools and framework which we have used? So here in this audit, right, we have mainly used the ISO IEC 27, which is also CSA, that is Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore, and NIST 853 and 800 These are the framework or the tools which we have used as a standard during this audit case. Okay, let me call our chief auditor to explain the more details of the audit findings, right? So, Pavina, I call you for your explanation, your presentation here.
Yeah, thank you, Charlotte. All right. So let's begin by reviewing the four security issues identified during the audit of Singhealth data breach. The first issue is unpatched and outdated system, which have been categorized under technical issue. So a critical server remained unpatched for over a year, exposing the system to known vulnerabilities. This had serious operational and financial consequences as attackers exploited these weaknesses to enter the network and install malware. So for the second issue is inadequate staff cybersecurity awareness and training, which have been categorized under human factor. The staff lacked training to detect and respond to cyber threats. Managers also delayed reporting incidents. So this will lead to a major strategic failure as attackers were given more time to steal data due to the slow internal responses. So, could you please move to the next slide, please?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the remaining two issues, which the third one is weak access and password control. Some administrator passwords hadn't been changed since 2012 and were extremely weak. And this repeated failed login attempts were not detected. So this will lead to attackers gaining privileged access to databases, allowing them to run harmful queries, for example. All right. The final issue is poor incident response and management, which have been categorized under procedural issue, and there was no clear response framework in place. And miscommunication across departments caused confusion, and it took 6 days after the detection to confirm the breach. So this delay worsened and the operational and reputational damage for the Singhealth. Yeah. Next we gonna look on the and RCA. Okay, let's examine this root cause analysis. We're using the 5 whys method. So our first focus is the successful data exfiltration. Why was the data stolen? So because attackers accessed the patient database and ran SQL queries. So the next why is why did they have access? So basically they obtained privileged credentials. And why were the credential compromised? Because the password was weak and unchanged for years, and failed logins weren't flagged. And why weren't these alerts? There was a lack of proper access actually for controlling and monitoring. And why was that allowed? The cybersecurity was not seen as a priority, leading to a culture and complacency and poor security practices. So moving to second root issue is the delayed incident response. And why was the response delayed? It took staff several days to escalate the breach. And why they did this? Because employees were unclear about how to report a cyber attack. And why didn't they know about this? Because there was no clear written procedure and training was insufficient. And why wasn't there a framework? Because the meetings with security management were irregular and no response protocol had been put in place. So this reflects another systemic failure, not a technical flaw, but a lack of preparedness and coordination among themselves. And these internal weaknesses made it easier for the attacker to succeed and go undetected for days. All right. Further on for the recommendation, I would like to invite my another auditing members to explain more about it. Thank you.
Hi, thank you. So for the recommendations, the four issues. So uh, for the first issue is for the unpatched and outdated system. So this is as before caused the was caused by like the servers not having proper updating in the security. So to mitigate this is to pretty much in the short term, we can restrict the network access to devices with up-to-date security patches. And then in the long run, we can enforce a schedule um, and retire any outdated legacy systems. And then the second one, the issue is related to inadequate staff cybersecurity awareness. So, based on this, the team recommends to enhance the staff cyber awareness and implement clear incident response guidelines. And for the short term, the organization could have like town halls on cyber threats and also reinforce data protection via secure login messages. And then in the long run, they could have simulations, annual simulations on breaches, and they can provide exercises to boost the staff for cyber readiness. Yes, so okay, the next one, so weak access and password control. So this is an issue that led to credentials being compromised. So recommendations is to for the short term to have a stronger password. So have like longer, like 15 character passwords for the admins and to also reset all the compromised credential. And then for long term is to have a two-factor authentication for all admin accounts and critical systems. And then for the next one, the issue is poor incident response. This is related to during the breach, the response was slow. So to mitigate this is to have a centralized incident tracking management. So all the suspicious incidents can be logged and monitored so that there can be faster coordination and clearer communication. And then for the short term is to also do this, but yeah, but the incidents are reported regularly within 24 hours. Yeah, next slide. Okay, so for the risk assessment matrix, so so to conduct this risk assessment, the team based this on the information security risk management standard known as ISO IEC 27005 from 2018. So on the table here, we have like three categories, likelihood, impact, and priority. So likelihood is the uh, frequency of the incident. So how many times this incident could happen within a short amount of time. So this can have a value from 1 being low and 5 being highly likely. And then for the impact is related to the consequence on confidentiality, integrity, availability, and reputation. So this one also has value from 1 being low impact and 5 being very high, 5 being high in impact. So, and then the priority category, it is a combination by multiplying likelihood and impact, and it will determine whether this issue needs to be put high in the list. So 1 is low, and then maximum 25 is very critical and it needs to be addressed immediately. And so based on those three categories, we found that unpatched and outdated system has a very high likelihood and high impact that led to a high risk rating, which as a result made the gives the priority to critical, and then followed by weak access control, also has critical, and then the third highest is inadequate staff training, and then the lowest is poor incident response. So all of these issues will be addressed based on the highest priority. So, and then we will address them one by one in sequence. So yeah, from unpatched systems to weak access control to inadequate staff training, and then lastly to poor incident response. And yeah, um,
All right.
and
Yeah, Zaid.
then
Thanks for your input. I think it's pretty explained for the risk assessment method, right? So, okay, now I would like to invite our IT head, right? So, based on the audit findings, what are the lesson learned and what are the action plans? So, our IT head for the next 6 months. So, Nasrul, I would like to invite you for your inputs here.
Okay, thank you, Mama Shahnat. Okay, so based on all this information, we can see that a few key takeaways from all this: the advanced tools are not alone is not enough. So the basic cybersecurity hygiene is critical. The timely patching, the strong access control, and staff training. Okay? Neglecting the fundamentals can result in major data breaches. Okay, as we have seen before. Okay, on this case. So the state-sponsored APTs pose a serious threat to the critical system, just the health, some like healthcare. Okay. All the organization must adopt to and assume breach mindset for better preparedness. So we must assume that we will always be attacker. We are always being breached. Okay, so what audit control that could have prevent the issue is we should have the conduct regular independent audits of patch management to detect unpatched system. Okay, second is to perform access control audits to identify weak or unchanged password. Okay, and third is to ensure audit findings are properly remediated and not just reported. Okay, next slide. Okay, so how could the security awareness be improved across the organization? Okay, so this is a common question. So we should always provide a continuous, engaging security awareness training, and it should not be just a one-off session. Okay. Second is we should use storytelling, town hall, and breach simulation to enhance the training impact, so that we become much more interesting to the people. Okay, and third is to ensure senior leadership visibly support cybersecurity to build a strong security culture. Okay, we for the action plan for the next 6 months, because we have prepared a 6 months plan. Okay, so for the month one, we should conduct a full patch compliance assessment of all IT sets. Okay, identify and isolate unpatched legacy system, and then distribute secure login banners and reminders. So this because of the issues of unpatched system and the cyber awareness. Okay. The IT should be done by IT security team. Second month is a roll out urgent patches and updates. Okay, conduct town hall. And then the third month is a launch basic cybersecurity awareness in the e-learning module. Okay, our conduct credential audits. Okay, next. Monster implement incident reporting guidelines. SOP begin internal drilling. Okay, start planning for MFA. Kan? The month five, we initiate a centralized incident tracking platform. The same logging and to conduct a refresher workshop, and to initiate procurement of MFA solution. And this the month six to complete a pilot deployment of two FA for admin accounts, and conduct first simulation-based breach reduction drill, and prepare compliance report to leadership on patching and awareness. Okay, so then
Yes, thanks, Nasrul, for the input. So, team, so this is a very good audit attempt we have done for the Singhealth. So, we have a case study for the Singtel data breach, and we have done a very good audit. So, we have the issues, we have listed down the issues, we have a recommendation, and we have action plans, right? The root cause, definitely, we have a root cause why this has happened, and we also have a recommendation for the institute how they can perform well for the next 6 months at least, right? So based on that they can take forward. So thanks team. So great effort. I think it's a very good audit we have performed, right? So let me before we wind up, right? Let me do some group reflection, right? What we as a group of auditors, what are the key challenges we have faced in this one, and what are the things we would have done if we are the real auditors, right? Internal auditors. Then relation of this case with cybersecurity best practices. So let me first brief the key challenges we have faced, right? So the managing large volume of data. So you can see this particular case is it's actually a very big very large case. We have to go through multiple hearings and reporting, and it was a complex task. Secondly, creating a current timeline required distinguishing the root cause from the contributing factors. Actually, it was very complex task which we have to identify the root cause as well as those factors which is contributing to the root cause. Then definitely the technical depth. So APT, we need to learn more into this. What is APT? What are lateral movements? All those things we should have a very strong technical background of these things before we go into the. I mean, before we deep into the auditing, right? So these are few of the things. Then team alignment and definitely one of the key challenges, right? To make our analysis very accurate, we have to align ourselves, we have to plan accordingly. So um, so this this also a major contribution. Then the real challenge was uncovering the systematic failure, not just isolate the issues, right? So we can isolate the issue very easily, but what are the reason for the failures? The identifying this thing is a very challenging task which we have faced in our audit. So, okay, the things we would have done if we were real internal auditors, right? So, as of now, we all know we are doing a simulation, but if we were real internal auditors, what we can do? So, we might have enforced the independent verification of all high risk audit finding before the closure, right? So, for example, the vulnerability. So, this issue we can see there are a lot of vulnerability on the server side, which has made a crucial role in breaching the attackers to breach the network, right? So if we could have done most of the patching, done the auditing well, then there definitely we could have able to patch the system. Then expand the audit to as a security culture through staff and management interview. So we should have do this auditing across all the staffs and management through interviews and multiple platforms. That's how we can gather more information. So evaluate the awareness level and willingness to report suspicious activity. So whenever whoever sees some kind of malicious activity, right, suspicious thing, we should have enforced the practices to report it immediately. So this is one of the important point which we also seen lacking in this particular use case. Then at last, advocate for regular realistic cyber attack simulation test technical and human response readiness. The things we would have done if we were real auditors. So we just discussed this part. So let me go to the last part. So relation of this case with cyber security best practices. So highlight severe impact of neglecting the security fundamentals. Right. This is cyber security fundamental is even we if we neglect the very basic fundamental, it can have a huge impact. So emphasize the human element, staff training and awareness are critical. So these two factors is very important as a part of cyber security best practices. Then demonstrate the failure of defense in depth due to weak internal controls, right? So we have to emphasize, or we have to let the staff know the weak internal controls, right? How deep it can impact the organization. Then breach enabled by the basic lapses like unpatched servers or unchanged admin password can create a huge impact, right? It can attackers can come and do lateral movement, and they can literally take all the data information whichever they have required, and it can make a huge loss to the organization. Then underscore the need for strong patch management and access control. So this is one of the key takeaways in this case study, the strong patch management, right? Whenever there is a requirement for the patch, it has to be conducted a very regular basis. And COI, assume breach, right? So okay, this is very important mindset we have to get ready. instead of defending, right, we have to assume that we already in a breach state, so that how far we can reduce the impact is one of the mindset every employee has to keep in mind in an organization. So these are the things. Okay, so we have done with our case study. So thank you so much for all the team members who have done a very fantastic task. So thank you so much, guys.
Okay, thank you, Shanat.
Thank you.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much.